Hi everybody, it's your girl J9 Eve. Today's topic is about the TikTok strike and what it actually is for. It drives me absolutely crazy is listening to people try to explain something that is actually pretty clear, but they explain it wrong, or they miss the entire actual point. Like, the point of the strike is because it's not because white kids are on there getting paid more or getting more attention for doing the same thing that they just mimicked a black person doing and they got less recognition. It's because the white person took the dance. She saw the dance, learned the dance, mimic the dance, did not main point, did not credit the person who made the dance. That's the main point. They keep skipping that part. They keep saying, oh, because white people are getting, these little white kids are getting more attention off of the dance and they're getting promoted and it's black people who made it. No, it's just like any other thing. If a music artist has a song, anybody who contributed on the beat, on the music, on any part of that ends up in a credit listed with that song. If there's a music video and there's choreography, the choreographer gets a credit for that choreography done in that video. That is the problem. It is not just, it's not fair. No, it's theft. It's theft. It's just theft. That is the problem. And they keep saying it in every other way, just trying to get past this point. So what TikTok would need to do is the same thing that YouTube does. Why people's YouTube videos get cited all the time, because they use the music or something from someone else's thing that they have that is theirs. They use it on theirs. And so they get, no, that is why. It's the same thing. That's all that they need to do. All that they need to do is make it so if you take content from someone else's views, someone else's music, if you use someone else's choreography, if you use these things, if you took it from a site, that you cite the site. Okay? That's all that it is. It is not rocket science. And if you get called out for stealing, and then you would rather remove the thing completely than to say, I am sorry. Oh yes, this is where I got it from. Then yes, I'm sorry. That absolutely is what it looks like. You are a bitch. And that is what it is. It is not, what's the big deal? You know what the big deal is. You decided not to put that on there. And when it got called out, you decided that you weren't going to give in. It's Karenism is what it is. You do whatever you want. You say whatever you want. You lie on whoever you want. You say, what's the big deal? After you turn their lives upside down. And then when it's called out completely and the proof is right there, you double the fuck down. It's Karenism. I ain't never seen a Karen apologize. It's Karenism. That is Karenism. And you are a Karen. And that is all that it is. And say whatever you want. You want to say Karen is a oh my God, that shit is so funny. They're trying to say, now they're trying to say, oh, Karen is like a racist, term to use against white people. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Karen is a description. It's a description of a person who is showing a certain set of qualities. And everybody just happens to know what those qualities are. So they are very easy to spot. A Karen. A blind person will know a Karen when it sees one. A Karen knows it's a Karen. That's why it gets so insulted and hides when the cameras come out, and get very weird when the cameras come out. Because, I mean, who wants to be caught being a Karen? The answer is nobody. And still hadn't made any comment about the Victoria's Secret Karen, which was eating me up inside, but it was just bothering me so much. And when things bother me too much, I tend to try to not talk about them. You know, because I am an empath. And it is as much fury as I might show, it's fire. It's multiplied, and it's fire inside of me when I see it. Like that demonstration, those crocodile tears, those wet ass fucking weapons that they use, and then smirk. This heifer laid on the floor and floundered around on the ground during COVID times. Have you COVID on the ground? Just fainted and landed very conveniently on her purse. Got up and did the flounder on the floor, and then chased a woman around the store yelling, "Get away from me." Get away from me, while chasing. You know, this type of stuff makes you kind of just wish for fire. You know, well, it makes me wish for fire. It makes me think of volcanoes and who needs to go into the volcano. That's what it does. That's what it does to me. It infuriates. Is just not just cut. It really just isn't cutting it for me. It's not a strong enough word, like, of what I feel inside when I see this. You know, because I'm going to tell you right now, that lady, say whatever you want about that black lady. I'm going to tell you this. It's one of those I wish a Karen would moments. Because I would have stood there, watched her do all of that stuff. But as soon as she started running towards me, I would have stood right where I was, let her get just close enough, and her ass would have been on the ground. Again. Floundering for a different reason. Because I would have took that opportunity. Because that was assault. You assault me, and I get to assault you back. And that is how that works. And ain't no way in the world I'm going to pass up on an opportunity like that. This bitch run up on me. Oh, yeah, she getting clocked. That's all it is. There ain't nothing else to it. Enjoy it. It's going to be this feeling of release. Even knowing that once the police come up, they don't care. They don't care about the fucking footage that shows this ran up on me, chased after me, swiped after me, swatted at me. They don't care about none of that. They're going to arrest you first. But that's fine. I'm going to sit right there in that little cell for the night, knowing that I'm going to be sitting in a mansion later once I sue every single body that could be the suit. And then I won't have to deal with anybody for a long time, because I'll be hiding out in my condo. Thinking about the moment when I clocked that bitch and knocked her ass on the floor. Reminiscing on that moment. Because it would be a good moment of release. I don't know how she kept backing up. I don't know how she did it. Man, ain't no way in the world she would have caught a foot. She would have ran right into my fucking shoe. At the very least, she would have ran into the bottom of my shoe. She'd had a Nike print right on her forehead. That was what would have happened. I can't see it. I can't see me running. I can't see it. I just can't see it. I don't know what that would look like. No, it don't look like me, though. I know that. Especially not after experiencing that. No, no. I had one moment in all of my 30. Oh, give me lying. My 43 years. I try to go back in time, y'all. I just turned 43. So I had one moment in my 43 years where I actually experienced like a personal, like at me personal, like racisty, moment. I was like going into a GameStop with my kids, and this guy was like, he wasn't even white. He was like, he was like Middle Eastern or something. And he's like standing outside of his big white truck, like just kind of with his door open, and he's just kind of standing there, like right in front of his, between his door and his car, like the door is open. He's just standing there in that spot, and he's like talking on his phone or whatever. And as I walk by with the kids, like luckily Kaylee's behind me and she got her headphones on, but Kyle's standing right next to me, and he's like he's pretty little then. Not little, but he's like, what, 10, 11, something like that. And just as we were just passing him, he goes, oh, some more of these N-words. Some more of these N-words as I'm passing by. And I saw him before, I spotted him before I even got out of the car, because it was another black girl. It was like a couple of them. They were no, I don't think it was kids. It was like just like a couple of black girls had walked by, like dark-skinned black girls had walked by. And I could see that there was some type of interaction, but they didn't stop. They just still kept going. And so I already kind of, because I'm one of those people. I'm an empath, and I am an introvert. So I am a people watcher. Like, I notice things that most people don't notice. Like most people wouldn't think it. I'm an overthinker. So when I saw it, but I didn't hear it. So I didn't know the exact context, but I had an idea. That it was aggressive and out of nowhere, because she's just passing by. There's no reason for them to interact with each other. So, but he said something. So when I walk by and that happens, I'm like, I did turn and look at him, but then I immediately turned back to I turned and looked at him to my right, and then I turned to my left and looked at my son. I looked at his face, and I saw he made this face like he heard it. I knew he heard it, but his mind was going like, did I hear what I thought I just heard? Like he had that look of, what, did something just happen? And I looked at my son and I said, yes. He didn't say nothing to me. I just said, yes, that just happened. Because just like I was, maybe 37 or something, maybe 38, something like that when that happened. And that was my first experience with it. I thought it just enough that he needed to know, because we could tell the stories all we want to. I am very aware of it, but like I said, that was my first time actually personally myself having someone throw that word at me. Honestly, even in my existence, in my space, because if I even heard somebody say it to somebody else, like a person who's non-black say that to a black person in my presence, I'm gonna get involved anyway. Ain't no way, because it's gonna be at me. It's gonna be at me. I'm not gonna be able to hear that and just be like, oh my. Keep walking on by. Fuck no. You said that to all of us, but I was at a disadvantage. I'm here with my kids, and it's just me and them. So I couldn't put them in a position like that. But I run it over in my mind all the time. What would have happened if I was there by myself? And I can tell you what would have happened. I would have read him, because he would have been easy to read. He's standing there with this gut like no other, with this tight ass button up shirt that clearly belongs to somebody else, like his little brother, a nephew, and flip flops. This is a grown man in flip-flops and shorts and a button-up shirt that does not fit him. Standing here, not even white, whatever you like. I said, he looks like a Middle Eastern. I would have started at the bottom and I would have read him all the way up. That would have been what happened. He would have got an earful, and that would have been that. But I couldn't have them see that. So I had to say nothing, because if I said anything, I was going to say everything. So I had to just walk into this store to get my son this game that I promised, that I went to 3 different GameStops. This was my 3rd GameStop, because I told him I was going to get them this game, but the other ones didn't have it, but I had it in my mind. I already said I was going to do it, so we were just driving around to these different ones, and I'd never been on that side of town. And that's what I got for it. A lesson. I got a lesson. Our lessons are priceless, you know. But always in my mind just dreamed if I could ever run into that dude again and recognize him, because my memory ain't shit. Well, when it's just me. But luckily I had a little hero. They come in all kinds of shapes and sizes and colors. When it was time for us to leave the store, the guy was still outside. I'm looking out the window. I'm like standing there at the door and looking out the window. And this guy notices that I'm just standing there, like I look like I want to leave, but I'm just standing there looking out the window. And he asked me, "Are you okay? Is something wrong?" And I was like, when I came in, this guy right here was just like, said, the N-word, and I'm like, I just want to get by and not have the kids have to hear this shit again when I walk by. So he said, "This guy? Oh shit." But he was like a Hispanic dude, like a little young guy, like in his early 20s or something. He walks outside, walks straight up to the dude, and it was like, "You standing out here harassing people when they walk?" Just no introduction, just rolled up on us. I was like, "Oh shit, now's our chance. While he's engaging with him, we can scurry on by, And so I did. So I had a hero. It's always it, I didn't get his name. I probably wouldn't even recognize the guy. In fact, I can tell you I wouldn't recognize the guy if I seen him. But he's in my story. And and his action is remembered. My little hero of the day. Whoever's mother that was raised him nice and good. He was a good boy. The Lord knows what had happened when I walked out there. Because, I don't know what my limits are. I don't push my limits because I don't know what my limits are. And I don't know what 2 of those would have took, what 2 of those would have caused to happen. I might have got my kids in the car and came back to them. Ain't no telling. There's just certain things that I take issue with allowing people to get away with. It's that when you see something, say something thing. I hate the idea of people being able to say whatever they want to say, and then it just being no repercussions and nothing like that. Accountability is everything. It's everything. But seems like everything I would need to comment on something to do with the same stuff and people still can't figure it out. It's like, it's so weird. It's like, I'm gonna tell you who got it absolutely right. If you're a white person, I say a white woman specifically, if you're a white woman and you can't figure it out, I give you a perfect model to you can model yourself after, that you could relate to, because she's white as well. Jane Fonda. Do follow up, check up on, and see how she handles these things. She understands it absolutely and completely from her place. She knows. She completely, 100% gets it. You don't, if you want to defend another white person for racism, for doing a racism, what they call doing a racism, and you are a white person, expect to be dragged under the bus with the racists. So like that is how it works. You cannot. The only way, if you want to get involved and help, what you do is go to that white friend of yours who said the racist thing and give her the business. Give her a lesson. Tell her something that she needs to know. Teach her something so she doesn't do this again. But don't defend her to the people that she offended, because you are now an extension of her. Like that. That shit is crazy. It's just like, leave it alone. Or, if you don't know what to say, go find someone who does, who might have the answers, and ask them, how can I help? That's what you do. Everything else is doubling down on the already the wrongdoing. This is a racist country. Those are people can't kind of wrap their brains around. We live in a racist country. Don't think to yourself, it's bad. Think to yourself, it is. This is a racist country. It was built on racism. It was built on thievery. It was built on is rape and thievery and slavery. And this is what this country is. It was started off on. That's what it was started off on. When people come here from other countries and this is the land of opportunity. How did it get that way? Because I can promise you, if you're from another country, if slavery was still a thing, you would not be wanting to come down here and take your chances of ending up becoming the next set of people being used for that there. Okay? But, the only people who seem like they are unwelcome here are the people who were dragged here kicking and screaming. Used for slavery, raped and murdered, separated from their families, sold and bought. And the people who are the least welcome are those people. And even to the point of where they are told to go back to where they came from. We're supposed to go back to where we came from. And we're being told that by people who just fucking got here. But this is your land of opportunity, right? This is the place. And the fact that sounds logical to you makes you a Karen. That makes sense to you? That makes you a Karen. Well, if you don't like it, then go somewhere else. Karen. That's a Karenism. You don't like Karenism? Okay, a trumpet. You don't like that? American. That's an American. I think nothing is more annoying than having a non-white person, because we expect it from white people. We expect that. That's been the case since they brought us here. Like that's the case. But when somebody who is like only one generation away from having just got off a boat, that right there is something that sends us into absolute madness. Like, the fucking nerve of you. And I know something that most people don't know. I have an insight that most people don't. And that is this. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. I've been hanging on to this, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. So check this out. If it wasn't us, because the white man like free labor, he like it. He like it a lot. Okay, he need it. He require it. He gonna always get it, one way or the other. Slavery was gone. Incarceration, mass incarceration shows up. Okay, but that's how they had the slaves before. They would incarcerate people, and then they would have them. That those were the slaves in Europe. So they're gonna have their free labor. Best believe. So if we were to say, like you tell us, old Asian lady, if we were to go back to where we came from, just magically, Thanos, snap, all black folks gone. Do you feel like discrimination and racism would then not exist? Do you think that because there's a black person and there's a white person, that's how racism became a thing? No, no, no. So the next time you say y'all need to leave, be prepared for what happens if we actually did. Because please understand, you are in line. Okay? You are absolutely in line. You are in line. But you don't feel the need to look that much farther into the future. So good luck with that, because something's gonna happen. Let's see what side you on, whose side you trying to get on. Once the shit hitteth the faneth, because the shit will hit the faneth, and it shall fly. But that's enough of that. Race issues for the day. Ugh, people drive me absolutely insane.